I love video games. Obviously, they have given me so much and asked for nothing but some time and a couple bucks. People have poured their hearts and souls into these games, giving us a portion of themselves, and very rarely do I or even we give it a second thought. But something has been poisoning the gaming landscape, taking something so precious and beautiful and corrupting it with greed and, quite honestly, self-destruction. Alright, you read the title. There's no point in me continuing to lead you on and be incredibly dramatic as I am. We're talking about live service games. Now, initially, live service as a concept sounds quite alluring. Let's create an example. Imagine you buy a $60 video game, and within this game there are microtransactions that are purely cosmetic, with no gameplay advantages whatsoever. This game also comes with a promise that for the inconvenience of these microtransactions to you, which effectively lock what was once a feature behind a paywall, they promise that the game will not end when you roll credits. In fact, the game will ebb and flow, its landscape changing with new seasons, maybe even entirely new campaigns for you to experience. So, quite frankly, to get into the game now, you are investing into the game's future. So, all in all, this isn't a terrible business model. For company or player, RPGs have been doing it forever, but it's become terrible. Destiny 2, which once did this pretty well, now allows players to pay for new exotics through its battle pass, allowing genuine gameplay advantages. Or even Overwatch 2 allowing paying players access to new heroes significantly quicker than freemium players. Now you aren't just missing out on some cool cosmetics, you're missing out on key features of a game that once offered the full experience. I'm not even going to start on Diablo Immortal. Plenty of people already have, and much better than I ever could. It honestly should be concerning that I can compare AAA PC games to a mobile game. Live service games, more than anything, feel soulless in a corporate way, overly sanitized and unsatisfying, purposely unsatisfying in a way that makes you pay to feel as close as possible to satisfaction. And this isn't to say that these games lack talented developers, despite my opening statement. It is not their fault games are becoming like this. It's the greedy corporate suits that take people that are talented and full of dreams and cram them into a square that fits their requirements of success. Quite honestly, I more than anything feel worse for these developers. They got into one of the most creatively fulfilling jobs in the world, and they aren't even appreciated for that creativity. I'm allegedly looking at you, Bobby Kotick, you gross little man. So that's the rough cut of what live service is and what kind of grotesque monster it's currently transformed into. So why do I call it exhausting? One major reason: FOMO. FOMO is something I fucking hate with every fiber of my being. It stands for fear of missing out, for reasons that are going to be obvious if it isn't already. Be it limited skins, battle passes, even entire campaigns, in Destiny 2's case at this point. Like, dude, you can't even play its best campaign Forsaken anymore. And that isn't to say that battle passes can't work. Halo Infinite, despite its many flaws, did do that right. This awful feeling that I'm constantly missing out on everything at all times, no matter what game I play, is genuinely starting to shred me up. I just can't fucking deal with it anymore. I'm so tired of playing a game for a while because I wanted to play with my friends, only to find myself so far behind because I didn't get this special thing or I didn't get that special thing. And I'm aware that this isn't really a you problem. This is definitely a case of it's not me, it's you. But maybe this resonates with you a little bit, and I'll take that as a victory. Because seriously, do we really need this many limited battle passes? I don't have the time or energy to be logging into 6 different games to clock in, do my quests, and clock out. It cheapens the game, it's a bad excuse for gameplay, and it makes me very tired. One of my favorite games right now is Street Fighter 6, a fantastic fighting game with a fun multiplayer mode that, you guessed it, has a goddamn battle pass. Why? Why does this $70 game have a battle pass for its avatars. It doesn't need this. All it does is clutter a game that was nearly perfect to me. I don't need the stress of logging in and seeing this battle pass at 14 days left or some shit. I don't need the spike of anxiety this gives me. I'm so tired of this shit, man. I'm sorry for rambling all over the place. I'm sorry for getting absolutely frustrated. I try to keep this channel a positive space, but sometimes I just need to vent about something, and this is one of those times. All this pretty much to say that I'm going to try to distance myself from these games a little bit. I just can't deal with them anymore. I'm going to stick to where the real stuff is, in my opinion. The indie gaming scene. I adore indie games and all the love that gets shoved into each one. And even Final Fantasy 16 has been a fantastic breath of fresh air and is well worth the $70 price for admission. It's 100% doable. These companies can make great games and don't need to have all this needless bullshit. They absolutely can, and they absolutely should. But creativity outside of the marketing room just doesn't seem to be as profitable for these corporations these days. It's not like all this money is going to the devs, you know. It's mostly going to the suits. And while I understand it and even expect it, I just can't deal with it anymore. Maybe I should just read more books. Live service games are just not my cup of tea anymore. And if you love these types of games, don't let me stop you. Keep loving them. It could really just be that they aren't for me. Or maybe it's just caught up to me at this point. They truly are just very exhausting to play. Anyhow, thank you so very much, as always, for watching my content. I promise I don't normally rant this much. If you enjoyed this video, or at least found it therapeutic, do give it a lovely little like. And if you'd like to see more content like this, smack the subscribe button as hard as you physically can. It likes it like that. But most importantly, have a goddamn, oh my god, my voice. But most importantly, have a goddamn wonderful day and don't die. Alrighty, movie review time once more, my chaps. Today we are going to be talking about an older movie from like 2016. I think it has Henry Cavill in it. I've kind of been on a Henry Cavill binge since The Witcher's been gutted. So it brings me great pleasure to announce that he has another movie where he's like a spear, sword, archery badass dude in like Roman times, and he kicks ass in it. It's called Immortals, rated R. An absolutely great time, so highly recommend it if you're looking for some Henry Cavill ass-kicking fun. Pop it on. It's a good time. Anyhow, have a lovely day and don't die.